This is a book of Fernando. My friend. Good, good, good. And I'm going to talk about Antarctica. Good, good, good. Margarita, tell us a little about you. Who are you? And what do you do? Besides, you told me at the beginning, but now, the five of us are together. Well, as I said, that I'm an ancestral educator and fourth generation of the Sepna people by maternal line. We are 10 siblings and we are more than 200 descendants. When we talk about the last Sepna, as I said before, we always talk We always talk about the last one that lived in its natural habitat, because we follow the roots and the Sepna people are still alive. So, it is the work that I do in the schools with the children, with the basketry workshops, with a history of more than 12,000 years here in the Rio Grande, especially in Tierra del Fuego. And I have also written books where I have recorded the story, both familiar and ancestral. Well, Emmanuel, tell us who you are. You told me you were going to read your book. Tell us a little about what your book is like. Hi, yes, I'm Emmanuel, a horror novel writer. Today I'm going to read a part of my second book. Of this. Of that bad other half. So that you know a little. Also, what I write is terror, always terror. I like terror. Stephen King, who is a horror writer. And I always like to write, and I threw myself on the horror side. Interesting. This is third reading meeting seeks to build cultures. On the one hand, we have terror, on the other hand also origins by the natives and a quite broad culture shock. Let's see, how can we cover all these issues in this meeting? How is a reading video? I don't want to be so repetitive for those who will watch the meeting later on YouTube. For those who are not there now, you can watch it on YouTube, and well, as I said in the first two meetings, that each one has between 10 to 15 minutes of reading, or if you do not have the book, you can tell a legend or something that is interesting. Anyone who wants to read or tell a myth or legend should raise their hand, and the rest should mute the microphone. Yum. I always recommend that you have the camera active so we can see how it works. Okay, F, can I show you the book I'm going to read? Show it. A book of poems, as they said it can be any. I can show you later and talk about my book, but hey, I thought sharing this one. The first readings of different writers that we have, it's a lot of. And it's good that they get to know each other, right? I have here 2 books of poems, but I don't know how long I have, it's up to me, but this. Daniel Gregilius is called This Is that how you see it? The reading is between 10 to 15 minutes, the idea is that everyone in this meeting can read. 3,000 kilometers of skies are called. And I chose not this one, to contribute. Let's say they find this first, right? It's called A Lonely Tree Claims a Gardener, and it goes like this. I'm a lonely tree in the middle of the cement, I need a partner. How sad I feel, now it is winter. A thick stick with some branches seems to me that they seem dead. Neat, the courtyard of the quartermaster, solemn, immobile, sun and moon visit it. It evokes nothing more than loneliness and grief. A gardener claims with full justice. Who drew this desert? Who approved this nothing? And to think that the pioneer gardens exceeded flowers between the houses. I think the regional future is being discussed here, so transcendent is the importance of the past. The future of this mini-patriot has been important. What empty the ideas that bounce in the patio of nothing. He claimed a traditional garden of hopes with ferns, pink geraniums, and tulips. Leaves that you see on the ground and roots that rescue memory. Unite the presumed vertex, put in the body on the ground memorials, so that the heroic and pioneering sweat sprout. Flowers that bloom in yesterday, I assure you that vision of the future. I assure. Well, it's very nice poems. Do you want me to read another one? Point and sum? Or do you want to talk about what we read? As you want, as you want, as you want, Gervasuti, Mako and Brandon. Well, it's called The Last Footprint, it's one talks about two good ones. I'll read it and I'll tell you. Two grandmothers, you already win, and a bastion rings chimes in the attic of memory. It is there precisely in memory, where the history of the peoples is based. And this town of which only shadows remain, echoes of voices beating like a sonority in the dominant ice. Christina slips into the celestial and southern crack of the word, and Ursula with her good soul pushes me and directs me to the cantata so that everyone looks south of the last trace of the homeland. I don't know, do you want me to continue? Want to continue? Or what others read? And then if there's time left, I'll read something else. Yet another wants to read what anyone has on hand. Mako, Gervasuti or Brandon, or that Margarita continues counting there. I think, bring my phone closer. Okay goes Brandon Fernando, so around. It's 2025, the first hour loud and clear, right? There are times that one cannot prevent things that are so simple unpredictable. Since people do not usually listen to the truth, and even if they can, very few people will have ears to understand what you are saying. If you don't submit, you will never be able to understand what others want to tell you. On M-Earth, Erlen and Maya were training Kiwi, after a very cruel loss. So Erlen took the ring to ask Superhand for advice, and after opening a gap, went directly to Hand Earth. Dr. Niz was analyzing some molecules, when suddenly they see Erlen arrive. Yinagrator approached to greet him and telling that he hadn't seen each other for a long time, and they also asked him about Maya. But then they had to leave when they saw that Erlen made a gesture to Dr. Niz, because he wanted to speak with him in private. Dr. Niz told them that he should tell them everything he wanted, since they were good friends, and he even reminded him that he was recently in his Earth, and together they managed to defeat the evil Goru. Erlen smiled, answering that he hadn't traveled there to talk about that topic, but because of the death of a very close friend. Ewell's mother, a child they were now caring for and training. Dr. Nis suggested that he be patient since they had to fight against Hera, if he had not been able to do anything about it. The important thing is that together with Maya, they have been able to raise Kiwi well. Erlen was happy with the words of his friend. So he asked if he already knew something about the death of his wife in the accident. Dr. Nis puts a flash drive on the computer while he tells Yinagrator about some opponents. No, this is components, pointing out that horrendous event was caused by someone with super strength. Although that theory was not proven, he thought that maybe there is some other strange being with a mutated hand. Erlen said that maybe. No. Erlen was amazed by the news and then invited him to have a few drinks of wine. That's how Erlen once again went to M-Earth to ask Dr. Nis for advice, or rather super hand, to overcome the death of Kiwi's mother. Alright, what book was Brandon? The one with super hand. Okay, show it on the screen. Very well. Now that Gervasuti or Mako reads, while I attend to Maria, because Maria wants to enter and she doesn't know how. Does anyone want to read a book? Gervasuti or Mako, either of the two, can read while I help Maria to enter. Okay, show it on the screen. Very well, now that Gervasuti or Mako reads, while I attend to Maria, because Maria wants to enter and she doesn't know how. Does anyone want to read a book? Well, I am going to read a part of a story from my second book, which is called Vision. He left the house greeting her parents. He could listen a murmur. He was trying to understand what he was hearing, but a quick movement was very difficult, and he was saved. He didn't quite know what happened, but he could see a shadow approaching from him right. He dodged it, although to tell the truth, what he saw was surely only in him head. He felt that someone was coming behind him. He just kept walking at that time and the sun had gone down and he had to walk about 100 meters where artificial light did not reach, so he walked even faster, avoiding looking to the sides. Sometimes more people passed by him, but this time it was not like that. In front of him at high speed something passed over. He crouched down to avoid contact and quickly turned around, but there was nothing. A sigh, and he continued walking. Pill to calm his state. He could barely finish the night at school. He would come, but he would come home almost dragging his feet, only to go up to his room and sleep. At noon he woke up. He could no longer stand his hunger, despite the sleep he had at night. After lying down, he turned around 1,000 times, between the voice that today and the feeling that someone else had there kept him alert. A rather strong coffee to wake up. It took a few minutes until he could keep his eyes open. The moon and the stars in his company. On occasions when he walked to the sea, he looked at the sky, perhaps thinking of escaping from this reality. The moon was his goal. He walked slowly back to the house when the rain was getting more intense, something that I liked. He would arrive drenched after entering. His parents were there waiting for him to scold him, and in that he was left. He had missed school. It would not be the first time he Are you going to continue reading? No, I finished it. For Mako to read a bit. Oh, okay. Hello Mary, hello Mary. Hi, where am I? Mako? Do you want to read the book? Mako, do you want to read? Well, yes. Or do you want to read you read, while we are waiting. Okay then, read. There I start. All for that perfect peace. All for that perfect peace. The peace. Peace the lowest of the sky sang happily to the terrestrial animals. They looked very good a club. Even everything was going as if with confidence. Although the atmosphere between critical of some things that made people uncomfortable, it could have been in both circumstances. Everything depended on yesterday's work for tomorrow. Be it one of those 3 days that one can say that everything was going very well in their homes. Home is something was about to happen. Something that cannot be invented. Since everyone was governed by limits of loyalty, and anyone who did not want to Since people tend to listen to the truth, even if they can, very little will have an ear to understand what they are saying. Are you listening to me? Yes, very good, very nice. Very clear. Okay. Titus, where the king named Claudio Gargo was next to him. He had his faithful companion Kislook. This one was so faithful to His Majesty that he told him what strategy should be used before new purposes that appeared in the reach of the kingdom. They never do anything if they don't reach an agreement. Since he was a good friend, he was very close. At that moment Claudio only came to mind, what are they? And what could it be about the new discovery? Since he learned with the battles he survived and was victorious. There it is, or am I still reading? Very good Mako, very good Mako. Good Mako. Very good, very good, very good Mako, brave, 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 you cheered up very well, you cheered up. Very good, very good. Maria, 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 you connected late this time. Did you fall asleep? Did you sleep? Or what happened? Did you sleep? You know what, no, you called me at this time. But do you know what happened? The group was silent. So how am I going to listen to you? And apart from that, when I fall asleep, I tell you, I fall asleep, bye. I'm going to another planet. Sorry for coming late. I do not like to be late. And I wanted to say hello to the lady, to Mrs. Margarita. Nice to meet you, my name is Maria. Enchanted Maria, nice to meet you. Thank you. Mako, your reading is very nice, your reading is very nice Mako. This time, it didn't cut, the other time it did. Very cute our names this, means this, strange name to pronounce it, but you pronounced it very well. Excellent. I like it a lot like that. Thank you. And continue like this, strength. Very good Mako. I want a 5. Very good Mako. Yes, yes, yes. Very good. Now it's her turn to read to Fernando. We have not listened to read Fur. Listen, listen. I want a 5. Laughs. That Mako, well, Mako. Above. Okay, now whose turn, is it? To Fe, to Fernando. Maria, touch you, touch you. Tell what you said the other time, the same as the previous two, or what do you say now? No, no, I have a very nice phrase that a neighbor sent me. I want to read it, I like this. Say it, say it. Do I read it? Wait, I need a little water because you wear. Ha 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 ha, this is Maria. Of course. Yes, I have my water here. Oh good. We all have water. Yes, yes. Look, we always go out. I like it, because we go out eating, we like it because sometimes we go out eating, sometimes we go out very like that, very informal. Be natural. All natural, all natural. Nothing this. It's nice, this must be, that it's not imposed, that it's something nice. It's nice because you guys are nice, so good. I'm going to read. The thing is. Just woke up, no, no. It's not called that. Listen it. A name was asked to paint a boat. He brought his paints and brushes and began to paint the bank, no the ship a bright red as the owner requested. While he was painting, he noticed a small hole in the hull and calmly repaired it. When he finished painting, he received the money from him and left. The next day the owner of the boat went to the painter and presented him with a check much bigger than the payment for the painting. The painter was surprised and said, "You have already paid me to paint the ship, sir." Responding the man, "But this is not because of the paint job, that is why it is because of repairing the hole in the boat." Painter, oh. But it was such a small service that it is not worth paying me such a high amount for something so insignificant. My dear friend, you don't understand. Let me tell you what happened. Let me tell you what happened. There I go. Well. Let me tell you what happened. And now this doesn't work for me. My dear friend, you don't understand. Let me tell you what happened. When I asked you to paint the ship, I forgot to mention the hole. When the boat dried up, my sons took the boat and went fishing. They didn't know there was a hole. I wasn't home at the time. When I came back and noticed that the ship had been taken, I was desperate because I remembered that the ship had a hole. Imagine my relief and joy when I saw them return fishing. So, I examined the boat and found that he had repaired the hole. From that hour, what you do. You never know when they need us or when God has a pleasant surprise for us to be useful and important to someone. Along the way there may be numerous separate ship holes, not realizing how many lives have been skipped. More or less, was it understood? Beautiful, I loved it. Saw, how beautiful. Me when I read it. I say, I'm going to read this in the group, I loved it. Is it right? They are things to ponder, yes. I liked it because a small detail. Sometimes one with a word or when he speaks, right. Or because you must cover a need, you don't know how far you can go. Not the certain lady? Yes, yes. Isn't it right, Emmanuel? Good afternoon. Yeah. Good afternoon, I had just Emmanuel, read it today. Let me think, you have to read Emmanuel again. Ha 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 ha. Yes, if he wants to read. If he wants to read again, he can, if he wants to. He wanted to say that today he had read that about the little boat. Had you read it? Yes, very early. Ah, look ah. Did you read the same as me? No, no. I say I read it I saw him earlier today. Of course, I saw it on Facebook, earlier today. Ah, did he see? It's very cute, very cute. It is food for thought, because it reflects that one does not stop to be able to speak and share to help other human beings. Because we need each other, and in these times, we are more difficult in life. Life is getting harder. Yes. So, give a hand, I'm not saying to open the door to everyone. But if one can lend a hand, that's it. Welcome be. Good this. Better this way, they liked it. Is it right? Yes, very cute, very cute. Very cute, very cute. Well, Ezekiel. You are the next. Brandon, do you want to read another snippet? Emmanuel followed first. Emmanuel, do you want? Emmanuel wants to read first than me? Whatever you want, I'm just looking for. If you like. Okay, I continue. Meanwhile, you need to read this fur. Everything was going well. Erlen already went to his land after opening the gap. Bedata. Things at the Bedata base were a bit alarming. Some of his men had had contact with a strange subject that he designated, and for now he had to advance the objectives to revive his planet. So, I ordered Dotrick and Alejandro to look for Ostian to start the preparations once and for all. It's a matter of time. Bedata is not going to have it easy, especially if there is an enemy loose on the ground. The most important thing is to think that Superhand will do everything possible to prevent it. For now, all that remains is to pray. There is only a month or so left for Bedata to release dark matter into the atmosphere to attract the other world using our satellite the Moon as a magnet. The citizens of the city center sister was the most well. However, Devon were robbed at gunpoint by low-life criminals. though luckily for them, Superhand was there to save. Crypto was analyzing the computer to see if he could control the Predator weapons, since they were used through computer networks, but he still did not have the necessary resources to achieve it. So, I create a similar weapon with magnet ability to try to prevent Predator from attacking them with his hand cannon. If he managed to force a melee attack, it could be beneficial for the man in the room. Mutated Hand and Yina seemed a bit impatient, so she retired for a few days to spend much more time with her mother. Since she hadn't seen her for a long time, because of everything that happened since Dr. Niz injected her with the antidote. Dr. Niz thought that maybe he could use the tachyon device and find out once again how fast she really Dr. Niz smiled at him, telling him that. Do I keep reading? How you want, how you want. Do you like the history? Yes, I liked. Do I continue reading? Oh yes, did Maria find the fragment of her? Or can Emmanuel go? Oh, Margarita can continue reading, telling her story. Margarita? Tell us your. You are muted. It's muted. For Maria, I'm going to tell you that she fell asleep in her bed. Ha ha ha. Yes, because I fell asleep. I'm going to tell you, how good. I am the fourth Sepna generation and I have been working in schools for many years. I am an ancestral educator, an ideal teacher, let's say. Oh, that's great. Yes, I have been working for many years precisely transmitting my history and my roots. By maternal line we are 10 brothers. Well, I am a mother, I have my husband, my 3 children and 7 grandchildren and, oh that's good, well, it's the work I've been doing in Rio Grande for many years. Ancestral legacy for an ancestral inheritance of more than 12,000 years, yes? I am also a writer, I wrote some books as I told the guys that I was going to show them. This is the second edition of Between Two Worlds, yes. Look how good. This is the second edition and this one that I have here, I show you the first one. That I am exhausted. I am exhausted was this. Oh, look. The ancestral and the modern represent the culture. Of course, of course. That is why I called it Between Two Worlds, and now the third edition is coming out in the centenary of Rio Grande. That is why, precisely, I also read the thing about the tree that was very pretty because, look. A lone tree claims a gardener. This is precisely why, because the 100 years of the contemporary of Rio Grande where it is. I will present my book on May 17th, The Forgiveness of July at the Museum of Virginia Choquintel. In the third edition of Between Two Worlds that is no longer past and present, but that I felt the past, yes. It is broader, it has more history, they have more photographs, they have many new things, yes. So well, it is a bit, let us say this, so that you know a little about this story, right? Yes, yes, yes. Of course, she's very pretty, I think she's very pretty apart from this one, that telling all about her from the beginning helps us to appreciate it, right? Yes, yes, all of humanity has a big change in other countries too, right? But humanity has undergone a great change, it has suffered a lot. Yes, exactly, and it has persisted. Do you understand me? Yes, 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 it has persisted, and you defended all that has a very great human value. Do you get me? Yes, yes, yes. He has defended a lot of because this is a so, how could I tell you? Very inhuman. The one who wants to be here from the beginning, how did they pass it from the beginning? You must have great achievement. Do you get me? Because it is so much legacy. Sure, good. I cannot say that, because I was born here and I have been here all my life, right? I love Rio Grande, the most beautiful city that I have, in the most beautiful land. The best forests, the best mountains, the best is this bird, the most beautiful Chowen, the great sea, that is, everything is beautiful. I spoke to him, I told him about the generations here, about the Rio Grande in Tierra del Fuego. From there I told him, did you see? That they must have had many places when they were or when they were born. Oh well, if it was the Senap people, of course. Because it was their natural habitat, yes, of course. Yes, yes, yes. But very raw, the natural habitat, very raw, very raw. Every time I see them, I cannot believe, and everyone went to the side where the supplies were, the fishing. Do you get my point? Live like this. And why did it become Tierra del Fuego? Because everything was lit up, but not as bright as it is now, For in this, electricity. Those were bonfires that they made. Family that was there. So, imagine the number of families living on the edge of the frozen river, as if to say, no, because it was frozen. But with those fires like this, there were many families. Because he says that the fire could be seen from afar. Sure, actually. That is why they named it Tierra del Fuego. Because they made bonfires, first to keep warm, but also the big bonfires they made, to shoot a whale or when someone important in the family died, so that everyone knows what was going on. There was an important event. Yes, 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 they were happy in their habitat and lived. Today we survive, survive. Sure, sure. Because the island that provides gives you the chance to survive, but it has already made, they provide it, do you understand me? That provide it, they give birth to you, they give you the comfort of the place. Why are you looking for the area if I am going to buy here or there or rent here or there? That is why my book is called Between Two Worlds, because it is what I have had to live. Yes, yes. Good, I am very happy. Do not go. I'll see if you put it on the page, or I don't know what you are going to do. No, it is actually in Echo or Hopscotch. You can get it, in Saltiana too. Yes, yes, yes. It is interesting because it is not a book that you wrote only from a fictitious situation. No, no, no. It's real, it's from real life, it's a true story, it's from real life. Lived history, beautiful, beautiful, I really love it. Good, thank you. I do not know if you want me to read another fragment of a poem from the book that I presented before, or if you want to read Emmanuel. How do you want Manuel? You're muted, you're muting the microphone. Emmanuel. We read it Emmanuel, we hear it, Emmanuel. Ha 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 ha. Read Emmanuel, read Emmanuel. Read a little and then read the other poem. I have. Joe. I have a book that I always read, I tell you. Margarita, I say. Read if you want, read. Well, I don't know how I want. How, Emma? Ezekiel. If you don't want, I'll read a fragment, and then if you want, Margarita will read a poem. Oh, there we are, good. As you want. Emmanuel to read. Then Mako when reading Emmanuel. In the morning while they were still sleeping. Red heard noises coming from the floor below without making so much noise, woke up his colleagues, let them know with a gesture that they should be quiet. You could hear whatever was there were several of them, they took their weapons and waited inside the room. They only communicated with signals, they were immobile, hoping that if they are, sorry. It is like that, but if they are those creatures that they should leave the house, if otherwise they were people, they were expected to try to enter the room. After several minutes, Adrian and Red looked out the window, watching half a dozen of those creatures coming out of the house. They crossed the street going to break the door. They entered an apartment. A woman with a girl in her arms ran away, but a few meters away she was hit by a shot in the back and fell on top of her little daughter. They quickly approached her, began to eat her wife and daughter. Neither Tadeo nor Red could believe what they were seeing. His partner wanted to look, but Tadeo quickly grabbed her and took her to the other side of the room. Clearly, for more weapons that they had in their possession, they could not face so many of them. After an hour, 2 hours went by and the opportunity to leave was very far away for the young people, since shortly after the woman was murdered and while they were feeding, a ship positioned itself in that area. The house where the hidden supports were located had a door and it was impossible to get out while they are there. The hours passed slowly, the daylight fading and the darkness gaining strength. He knew that they would not return to the bunker that day. They had no way of communicating with the others. It is also a small part of a story that is called M. There I tell you. Hidden, that deals with an alien invasion, obviously fictional, fiction. Of course, of course. It's not real walk. Clear, clear, clear. If they are known there, when you read and say, and you see a ship and one realize why it could have been a terrorist attack, also in another sacred one because they come out of the bunker you spoke. 2 words and put in the sentences. Did you write it? Or did you read from other people? No, it's mine. I wrote it. It's from one of my books. Ah, there it is. Go? Well. So, when those 2 words still don't lead to fiction. It's good, but you have to be careful because if you get distracted. Not. He doesn't capture them well, and with those 2 words, I find myself, you see, I find myself. It's good, it's good, it's good. Yes, yes Emmanuel, yes Emmanuel. Well, let's continue Septi Haba. He. Little people and. It's good, it's good. Margarita, do you want to read that? The poetry that I was reading was, that. Well, it's short, and it speaks precisely of these months that we are living, of the weather, of nature. Says, a word of encouragement for the bare poplars. Today is April, you could say May, a fainting of autumn leaves, were yellow on the grey sidewalks of my street. I stopped in front of the last poplar in this long row, where autumn embraces me, in front of the leaf that trembles, fades and falls with a very light breath of wind that the sea brings outside. Oh, bare poplars, in 5 months spring will return. How beautiful! What a pity, and me what? Very pretty, very pretty. I loved this one, but I bought it in 2017 and it is dedicated by its writer. Oh look! That is why I have a very large library here in my house with many books that I have bought, but also many that have been given to me and so dedicated. So, I'm going little by little. I'm going to take advantage of this space to get to know and incidentally read the beautiful things that there are people who look at nature and give it life in their words, and that's important. Like everything I read. Of course, like everything you read, one enters into that fiction, yes, and is the protagonist of each book, right? Of each story. Is that book here from someone from here in the province? No, Daniel Felipe Gralias wrote it, his name is, and he is from Buenos Aires. Oh look! He came to present it here, at a fair, and I met him, I bought it for him. It was pretty. And on the lid what does it have? It has an eclipse, and what is that? As a boreal halo or what? What does that represent? What would be the clear eclipse? Northern lights and stars. And the stars, precisely because this book talks a lot about nature. A look. In life, his verses from his poem speak precisely of what living nature is, right? Is very pretty. Yes. I love it. I love it. I liked it, I liked it, I liked it, I liked it, you know what? Because I like everything that talks about nature. From nature that tears from nature, the poet tears from nature everything he sees and transfers it to one, did you see? That is from the tree, that from the tree is something that these days I am seeing that at the moment the trees are beautiful and suddenly they are hanging from nothing, from nothing. A little leaf as the poet says and plays out of nowhere the little leaf and the light breeze or slight wind from the sea. That comes because we believe everything, right? Shakes it, there are some so clinging that they don't fall. Ha ha ha, but there are those who are not so attached and fall. So? That's how it goes with life too he. Oh, the truth, I imagined this time that we are on nothing. Grabbing a. Well, that made me think. You must cling to life. Exactly, that made me think. No, you must cling to life and live it in every healthy way. Do you get me? And give thanks to God that every day we are alive, then if we die, good point and aside. But hold on to life. Fight it, not stay because today because such a thing happened to me no. Not allow those things, we don't have to be dying for situations. There is much to fight for. And if you don't have family by your side and if you are alone. I'm just going to fight for myself. That is how the ancestors did. My mom. The ancestors. My mom, she used to say when she is alone, when we go to see her, and she is alone. They told us I am with my loneliness. Ha ha ha. Of course, the same as. And that she was preparing the table for a snack, as if it were for a battalion. She prepared the table to eat as if, she said, you have to love yourself, you have to love yourself. Yes, you must love yourself. You must live the moment as you are, and with whom you are. Sure, yes. That is right, it's cute. That they are learning, and the book thus transmit it, tell it because good is what we must live in moments of life. I am incredibly grateful to Fernando for having summoned me, very grateful to the entire group that was here today, and I know that more people will join to read. There are many people. I love to read. Me too, more than knowing history, knowing writers. Because well, each one has his thoughts and each one gives life to a book and when we open it, right there where it begins to act on what the writer put it. Then you bring it to life when you open each book. Yes. One and oneself when receiving what people write, that there are other human beings, who think that they think their own, but that they think. It's not just, oh he's a human being so and so, he's a writer. Yes, but what does he think? What does the writer think? It isn't true? He makes you live, and I like that. Good. You. Well, he is inspired, dreams, thinks, builds. This is a whole circle of creative things that a literary work is putting together. Yes. You'll say? This Emmanuel. Well, for one, write fiction, in my case I write fiction, right? But there are things in the book that are things that happened or that happened to me. One out there labels it only as fiction, but there are things there that turn one upside down and that happen to a personal person or to well-known people, of course. And even though it is fiction, there are characters that perhaps exist or existed, but their names are changed, and everything becomes fiction. It's not the same to write about what did happen and what didn't. What do the children say? Kids up you. What do the children think? Let's see what they think of what we adults are saying. Count? Your word is very important. What do you think of that? Oh, it's very small, ha. You never have to feel like they're ashamed. You always must get what you have in your heart. What you are going to say is what you get from your heart, not what you feel, and that is the most important thing. Sure, right? Yes. Surprise us next Sunday, you surprise us. That. You have all the work, all week to see what you are going to surprise the elders who are with you today. I'm leaving the meeting. Uh, Bye he. Bye. Have Mako, and Mako, what does he say? He has a happy face. I don't know what to say. Well, it's something he. What happened, Mako? You were proficient reading? Is it true? Read a lot. Yes, very cute, Mako. Some words that I came to understand, I don't know if. Yes, come on, talk, Mako. We are waiting for you. It is a wonderful experience to be here with you, with writers like Fer, Manuel and Margarita. Until next time. I'm glad I have. Anne speaks. I liked Emmanuel's book with which he puts a lot of terror. Well, thank you very much to everyone who participated. Thank you very much to all. Thanks, Ferdinand. Until next Sunday. A pleasure to have you here. See you until next time. Bye. The meeting will be on YouTube. So, between today and tomorrow it will be on YouTube. So, if you want to see how it turned out, I'll give you the link in the group. See you. Bye. A pleasure. Bye. Applause for you. Bye to all children.